But why argue about it? So we have our very special guest, Robert Breedlove, who's a good friend of my other friend, Anthony Pompliano. And the thing about being an old guy is I learn from the young guys, because this we've never been here before. We're on the edge of something so effing big that nobody knows where we're going. So welcome back to the program, Mr. Breedlove. And we're saying the same thing. It's going to be an exciting 10 years, huh? Amen. And then what a lot of people don't know when I talk about financial education, I go back to Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law says when bad money enters, good money goes into hiding. And so this has gone on throughout history. The Romans did it. The Germans did it. Zimbabwe did it. Venezuela's doing it. It's Gresham's Law. When you have fake money enter the system, which would happen in 1971 when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, Gresham's Law took effect. And good money, i.e. gold and silver, went into hiding. And I've been in gold, I've been in silver since 1964 and gold since 1972. And that's, I don't save dollars because I support Gresham's Law. Remember, Hitler came to power because of Gresham's Law. Mm-hmm. When in World War I, they messed with the Reichsmark, the German currency after World War I. That's right. So here we are again today. And they're still doing the same old thing. I mean, Biden's going to print, what, I think $5 trillion this year. This is 2021. Mm-hmm. And people are still working for the dollar. I mean, as a CPA and a finance guy working with high net worth individuals, what do you say to people right now who are trying to save US dollars? Right. And so the reason I love having on the program is because you have the financial depth from traditional finance, but to go into Bitcoin, which is the future, I'm going to talk about the next 10 years. And surprisingly, one of the reasons I created the Rich Dad Company was because of Gresham's Law. You know, the bad money chases out good money, or good money goes into hiding. I never saw Bitcoin. And now I'm going, holy moly, what's going to happen next? You know? So what do you think is going to happen next, Mr. Breedlove? Oh, that sounds like the derivatives market to me, which is a completely BS market. But we'll come back. The people love numbers and all this. But one of the reasons people want to listen to you right now is everybody wants to know, in 2031, what is your prediction for the price of Bitcoin? That is the only thing that people really care about right now. So they're going to make a decision whether they buy or not. Not on France, not on anything like this. But what does Robert Breedlove see the future, given if history tracks, which it seems to be tracking, what will the price of Bitcoin be in 2031, which is 10 years? We'll be right back. Welcome back, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Good news and bad news about money. You can listen to the Rich Dad Radio program anytime, anywhere on iTunes or Android and YouTube. And then please leave a review whenever you listen. All of our programs are archived at richdadradio.com. We archive them because we're an education company. We make no recommendations. We're purely educational. Anything we say, take with a grain of salt. We don't recommend anything. And the most important thing is if you listen to this program again, you'll learn twice as much because repetition is how we learn. That's how you become a better golfer. Repeat, keep repeating. But also listen to this with friends, family, and business associates, especially those out there who are saving their stimulus check and hoping this will save them from what's coming down the road. Because our guest today is a friend of the Rich Dad Company, Rich Dad Radio, Robert Breedlove, and he's a founder and CEO and CIO of Parallax Digital. He's not only a CPA, but he's also an expert on this thing called Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And he's talking about what's going to happen in the next 10 years with the US dollar, gold, silver, but most importantly, Bitcoin. So before we go on, Robert was talking about something about which is beyond my head, but we had our good friend, his name is Philip Haslam. He's from South Africa. He wrote the book, when currency destroys nations. And he was writing about the fall of Zimbabwe. And he's saying exactly the same thing Robert Breedlove is saying. He calls it the 7 falls. And the 7 falls is once a country like Zimbabwe starts to print money, you take the first jump and you can't go back up. Then you take the next jump and there's 4 more falls to go, and you keep jumping. And so that's what Robert Breedlove's talking about in this program here is America's already gone down that road. We took a big jump in 2021. This is March 2021, and we're going to keep jumping. So the question is, Mr. Breedlove, what do you see happening in the future? I mean, we have 2031 coming, and everybody was going to hold it till last, but what do you think the future price of Bitcoin might be in 2031? But keep going into your analysis of why we have to keep jumping. Again, that goes back to Gresham's law, is that the more fake money what you're talking about is when they increase M2 and M3 and all of those stuff they taught me in economics, which I forgot. It's just printing more money. That's all they're doing. Right. And so that's what gives Bitcoin and the blockchain technology so much more credibility than the central bank money, fake money, I call it. And look, this is why my wife and I started the Rich Dad Companies. We need financial education. Just as simple as Gresham's law, fake money drives out good money. You have bad money. And our Federal Reserve Bank, the smartest guys on earth, don't fight the Fed. They're printing trillions. Yeah. And we have millions of Americans and people all over the world waiting for the stimulus check. We're going to crush them. From your financial background, in my opinion, every time we print money, we just create more poor people. That's what we're doing. Yeah. What do you have to say about that? We're just creating poor people because we violated Gresham's law. We produced bad money. That's right. Throughout history, the Romans did it, Germans did it, Zimbabwe did it, Venezuela's doing it, everybody's doing it. And now we have Bitcoin, blockchain, Ethereum. So that's why, as an old guy, I've got to keep my mind open, and I got to defend the old guy like Peter Schiff, who keeps going back and forth. I'm going to just buy some stupid Bitcoin, Peter. Why argue? It's like the story of my mother. She'd always say, "How can I be broke? I still have checks." So let me take the old guy side, okay? I'm gonna challenge you on this side. So as an old guy, I was just in Park City the other day. Again, this is March 2021 because the date everything's changing so quickly. These guys came up to me and they were telling me about the new altcoins or something they're producing. And when I talk to guys like you, they say, "Well, Bitcoin is the network." Well, just being an old guy, the network is like McDonald's. What gives McDonald's power is they're a franchise network. But there was also a Blockbuster Video that digital blew out of the water. Why would you go to Blockbuster where you can download digitally? So these young guys are coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Bitcoin is trash," because they're going to start another currency. So being an old guy, how would you explain to me that idea? Because it's coming out of your head. It's not coming out of a gold mine or a silver mine. But by the way, Park City was a silver mine. So how couldn't somebody just create their own Bitcoin and their own network and just blow Bitcoin out of the water?